All right, so I figured I'd give you all a little update on what I got going on here in the shop. So I posted a video a while back about a BP Automotive harness for a LS swap that I had coming up. This is actually the truck. This is a 87, I guess you'd call it an R10, but it's, you know, C10 platform. It's had 350, 700 R4, good running motor and all that stuff. We just wanted to step it up to a new modern drivetrain, and so here's what we got going. This is a 50-something thousand mile original truck, so it's pretty nice. Kind of got ahead of myself and didn't really shoot any videos, but it's a 5.3 4L80. I went ahead and stabbed the 5.3 and the trans in there. Got kind of the wiring from the old TBI tucked to the side. I still got to go through all that. But yeah, 5.3, Texas speed cam, headers, drive-by-wire. Pretty simple swap. We're using the BP Automotive harness. Should go pretty straightforward. Do electric fans. It's a fairly new radiator, so we're going to keep that and just we'll get a shroud and whatnot that fits it. We're doing a sanding compressor, AC. All the AC was working good on this one, so we're going to keep the AC going. But yeah, we got, like I said, we got the transmission tucked in there. Let's see what else. I have to check the drive shaft and the engine placement. This one has the slider brackets. I've used these before on a C10. It worked out good. They're a little bit low for my liking, but they work pretty good. I'd like to see a little bit more clearance on the cross member, but they do all right. But I get the drive shaft in there. I got to swap the 700 R4 for 4L80 yoke, and then check and make sure my placement front to back is good. And I think I have to move the transmission cross member back a few inches for the 4L80 because the mount is a little bit further back on that one. But other than that, I just kind of wanted to bring you guys along on what I got going here on this one. So I'll get some more work done and I'll bring you guys around when I get back at it. All right, so a little update, a few hours later, and we got wires everywhere. So I've kind of separated and removed all the old TBI harness away from the main engine harness that goes to the body. So we got your charge cable, your starter wire, oil pressure, coolant temp, all the stuff that just needs for like the gauges and to control the LS ECU. So got all the unneeded stuff thinned out from the harness. I'll get this relayed out and loomed up. We got all the extra wires that kind of aren't really needed. There's not really a way to de-pin the C10 harness because it's all like epoxied in there. So what I do is I'll cut these short, heat shrink the ends, just kind of loom them into the harness. You won't really see that they're there once I'm done. Another thing I did get done, I did check the headers, the long tubes. They're Speed Engineering 1 3/4 headers. They both clear, so that's good. That's really tight. You can see an air gap, so we're good. Working on getting the throttle cable pulled out because we're doing a drive-by-wire. Got the old cruise control wiring and everything taken out because this is, like I said, drive-by-wire. All the cruise control will happen with the ECU. So got the pedal out. Pedals out already. Got some of the dash out so I can get this cruise control wiring and airline out. And once that's all done, then I'll start running the new BP Automotive harness in there. It's a pretty good little harness. I reused that factory hole that the TBI wiring came through, and I'll put the LS ECU on top of the glove box on the inside. So, all right, so I'm gonna continue on this wiring, and I'll bring you back once I start laying out the BP Automotive harness. All right, so we're starting to pull the wire through that grommet. You can see it's got a little rubber grommet on there. I still got to pull it through, but we got everything pulled through. This is the full engine harness, transmission harness. It's got wire provisions for the AC, the throttle body. Pull you inside and let you check it out. All right, so we got the two connectors for the ECU. We got some miscellaneous wire that goes to that side for like the OBD2 port, stuff for the speedometer, tach, other gauge stuff. Just for the drive-by-wire pedal. I'll cover that more when we get to that point. And on this one we have fuel pump output and let's see what else. The ignition wire, and then we got the fuse box for the harness itself. It's got the fuses, wires, relays for the fuel pump, main ignition, all that stuff. This is gonna set up above the AC box. Kind of excuse that glare there, sorry. But anyway, that's where the stock ECU used to be for the TBI computer, which is right here. So it's pretty large. I've done a few of these. I get them to tuck in there really nicely, not kind of interfere with any of the original AC controls or whatnot. So this one's a pretty nice truck, so we're gonna try to keep it as, I guess, stock looking as possible. So we want to tuck all the computer in the engine, or the under the dash. We want to keep the engine bay as clean as possible. That's the goal, kind of what we're doing. So I'm gonna get all this wiring laid out. Then I might start on get the headers hung. I got this one just kind of in there. None of them's bolted up. I'll get both those hung, get the wiring on. Still got to clean up some of the stock wiring, and then we might do some hoses, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll bring you back when we get some more progress done. Took me a while to get the wiring all figured out, but so we have cruise control off and on. We got cruise control set and coast. We got cruise control resume. So those are basically all the functions of the deal, the cruise control. So it's off right now. So I'm going to turn it to the right, and you'll see it go on. So cruise control's turned on, and I'm going to simulate the Excel, and you can see with me pushing to the right, we get the accelerate or resume function, and then we have the cruise set and coast, which is at no right now, and when I push the button in on the end, we get the cruise control set. So far so good. All the wiring is all working out just like it should. Let me get it all buttoned up, and then I'm going to start tuning. I figured I'd shoot a little video. This 87 Chevy R10. It's the last year, the C10 platform. They called it an R10. This one had 58,000 original miles. Had a 350 700 R4. Customer came, we built the 5.3 for him and did a 4L80. Stock computer, electric fans, AC, kind of the whole shebang. We're gonna just give a little overview of the setup. Like I said, it's a 5.3. We went through the whole thing, new bearings, seals, rings, we went through the whole motor. We installed a Texas Speed Stage 3 truck cam, low lift, with springs, retainers, and whatnot. We went with a Sandin 508 compressor, got rid of the old R4 style. Made new lines for it, new dryer. We went with the aluminum fan shroud with dual electric fans. 12-inch fans there. His old overflow was kind of dingy, so we went ahead and got him a new factory replacement overflow. As you can see, this was a truck motor. We converted it over to a car-style water pump to have a lower upper radiator hose. Make it look a lot better than that big kind of radiator hose that goes over the top. This one does have a 4L80. So we swapped over to the heavier duty transmission. It's got a 22 or 2400 stall torque converter, if I remember correctly. We went with Speed Engineering headers for the 73 to 87 C10. Those worked out great. They fit great. We welded some 3-bolt flanges on the bottom. Kind of see down there. Did the CPP shim arm. Overall, everything's working out great. This is a super clean truck. That stage 3 low lift cam sounds great. Yeah, nothing too much. I just kind of want to give you an overview of kind of what we did on this truck. We got the original gauges working, the oil pressure and the coolant. Everything's working great. Like I said, AC's working. Can't feel it, but it's cold. Also on this one, since it was a drive-by-wire setup, we actually got the original cruise control to work. So you turn it on, you do your resume function, you have your set function. So all that works like it should, or like it did in the original Tahoe, or kind of whatever this truck motor came out of. But yeah, for the most part, this swap came out really nice. Nice air intake, K&N filter. We threw a simple catch can on there. Kind of keep some of that oil gunk out of the intake. Like I said, for the most part, it came out really good. The radiator in this truck was replaced not too long ago, so we kept that in there. We just put electric fans on there. We also upgraded the transmission lines, so those are all new. It's got a dual exhaust, flow masters. This is kind of what he had on there before. Like I said, this was a 350 before. 350 700 R4. We swapped over to a 5.3 80. As you can see, there's no computer anywhere. I like to tuck the computer inside the glove box, above the glove box, so you can still retain your glove box. This harness, we used a BP Automotive Gen 3 harness, and that thing worked great. Not one complaint at all. I've used a few of those, and by far that is the best like stock computer harness to use nowadays. I mean, and we also paid a little bit extra to have the nicer braided loom put on there instead of the corrugated, you know, tubing that they usually put on the harnesses. It actually worked out great. Used the ICT billet, Sandin compressor mount on this one. So worked out great. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I got a few more swaps that I'm working on. I'll be posting up here soon. Got a C10 with a turbo that I did. Got a 77 model that I'm working on.